Hi, everybody. It's Wendy De Rosa, and we are going to talk about how healing your inner child helps you reclaim your intuition. I am so glad you're here. If you're here for the first time or you haven't yet, please subscribe to my channel so you know when I have videos that come out that will support you. Okay, let's dive in. So, I want to talk first of all about the inner child, which is not just the child, it is the inner infant, the inner adolescent, the inner preteen or tween, the inner teenager, and sometimes the inner young adult. And that would be, 18, 19, 20, maybe even up to 25, because that's when brain is still developing up until the age of 25. So these are various stages of our growth and development. And when we talk about the inner child, we're talking about a consciousness that exists inside us. And that inner child, because we have various stages of development in our youth, those aspects of consciousness within us have different needs at different points of development. And inner child work might be something you've heard of before. If we go to therapy, we might do some inner child work. Why would we do inner child work? Because the archetype of the inner child at any one of these stages is connected to our needs met or unmet. So that means if I was raised in an environment where all my needs were met emotionally, physically, I would have some healthy sense of connection with myself, bonding with myself and perhaps others. And I have a foundation for resilience in the world. Now, if I were raised in a system where my needs were unmet as an infant, as an adolescent, or as a preteen or tween or teenager, then at some stage of those developments, I might be holding inside myself bonding, attachment, senses of belonging, or needs that aren't necessarily clear to me or aren't met. And I might be, as an adult, kind of looking to get those needs met in other ways. Here's where it ties in to intuition. So intuition is ultimately our soul communicating through the faculties of our body. And so that might be our feeling state. It might be lower body, like the physical, we call it claircognizance. It's the knowing sense. It's very physical. We would get a gut feeling or a knowing. For some people, it's a little bit higher in the body. It's more the visual sense, or it's hearing a voice inside, maybe hearing our inner child, or hearing, our mind is also an aspect of our intuition in terms of hearing higher self. These are ways that our consciousness communicates to us messages. Well, if I have an inner aspect of myself, or my inner teenager, will say, that has not grown up past the teenage stage because something happened in my teenage years that kept me in some ways, we'll call it arrested development, kept me in arrested development, meaning I'm staying in a particular consciousness because of fear that occurred, because of an experience that occurred, and I haven't moved past it. I didn't have the tools. I didn't have the support. I didn't know what to do. I froze. That energy leaves an imprint inside us. And so if I were in later years of my life going to, let's say, have a relationship, meet somebody who's great and wonderful and perfect and checks all the boxes, but in some ways I freeze, I push them away, I self-sabotage because there's an unhealed part inside me that occurred at a particular stage of my development. We say teenage years in this example, that I haven't healed. I haven't moved past it. So I don't have capacity to welcome a healthy bond or a healthy relationship because there's a part of me that doesn't feel perhaps worthy of it or doesn't feel it's safe because of whatever the experience was in my quote unquote teenage years at that time. Now, I picked out teenage years, but we could say this for any stage of our inner child. Our inner child goes through developmental stages of life. And each stage is like a rite of passage. We move through this era in our development, and then we move on to this next era of development. And at any given time in our childhood ages and stages, we could be experiencing something that has caused us to fight, flight, or freeze, or even, shut down. That's a form of numbing and freezing. And in that case, sometimes what will happen is if we close down in a certain part of our development, then later in life, when we are looking for answers, or we need to make decisions, or we need to know if we're on the right path, or if this person's trustworthy, if we are operating from a frozen, shut down part inside us, most likely we're not going to trust our own information, because there's some part of us that, again, is shut down because some part of us didn't trust the situation we were in. This is the reason why inner child work is so important. I talk about inner child. We do a whole level in my training program, my energy healing and intuition training program, on the inner child. And the reason we do an intuitive development is because our wounds speak. If it's, but people will say, is this my fear or my intuition? Sometimes we don't know until we heal and work with the inner wounds that have occurred, usually in those very formative years, 0 to 18, or even up to 25. A lot of foundation is beginning and forming in those years about how we're going to belong and bond and attach in the world. And it starts with the early systems we were raised in. So when healing the inner child, what we need to do is listen to the unmet needs. What did our inner child need at a particular age, an era of time? Now, you might hear that and say, well, what? Like all of it? Or what age? Like, I can't even land on an age. Or maybe, whoa, you said that in my immediately I went to 5 years old. Or, I can't even feel the age. Like I can't even, it's not even coming to me. Any of those possibilities may be true. And what I'll say to you is that this takes time. If we have never connected to our inner child at any age, we might have some level of relationship building that needs to happen. It's like building a relationship with a part of you, with an aspect inside you. And if you haven't met that part of you, you have to meet it first. And we meet it by saying hello, introducing yourself. Hi, I'm adult Wendy, and I'm here, and I'm so sorry I have never tuned into you before. And I'm here now, and I want to listen to you. And that moment of just listening to your inner child or feeling your inner child could take up to 10 minutes. So give it the time. If you haven't bonded at all, give it some time. Tune in and feel. Now, let your inner child tell you what age you need to land on, because you might find you land at 17 or you land at 12. You don't land at 2 or 3. And sometimes we land in utero, like in the womb, and we're an infant, or sometimes we're a bit, younger than the age of 2, and it's pre-verbal, nonverbal. So we're just getting sensory experiences. Either way, your intuition guides us to the age that we need. And what happens in energy healing, but also in neural pathway reprogramming, is we have to rewrite the story. And that means that we go to this part of us and we say, I'm here with you now. I know you didn't get that need met before, but I'm going to give to you right now what you needed. And we do it in a visualization or in just a practice, a feeling practice where we close our eyes and we feel ourselves giving the emotion or the comfort or the safety to the inner child at that particular age where it's needed the most. Maybe as a teenager, you needed to be heard. You needed someone to be in tuned with you. And so you do that. You let your inner child tell you what it needs to say. What did not get spoken, what was not heard. And so it's going to take you listening to your inner child tell you what it needed to say. And that's going to take some skill and some, intuitive listening, it might take time, but it won't work if you don't practice it. So it takes practice first. So once we start connecting to the inner child and hearing the inner child and feeling the inner child at different ages, it nourishes our intuition. It supports our intuition because, again, our intuition is going to signal sometimes warning signs when something doesn't feel safe. A healthy relationship, we'll say, I'll just use that example since I used it previously, may actually be safe, but the body holds back and says, no, this isn't because I have prior wounding. Once we start healing that wounding, we're able to have more of a sense of ourselves and more of a healthy sense of our bonding within ourselves that helps us make decisions and feel into the reality of the situation without our wound getting triggered. So we can make more of an informed decision based on our felt sense in our body and our intuition from a healthy and healed place, as opposed to a skeptical, worried, nervous place inside us. These aspects of our intuition carry wisdom. Our inner child carries wisdom. Our intuition carries wisdom. The intuition is the light of the soul, and your inner child is an aspect of your soul, which means that your soul and your inner child are very similar. They're aspects of each other. So when you tune in sometimes to your intuition, sometimes it's a matter of asking your inner child, how do you feel? What do you think about this situation? Because the inner child is always going to be connected to your inner needs, your inner light, your inner sense of emotion and joy and happiness. And so it's going to give you that information according to how it feels. We might find that there's a decision we need to make that feels so exciting. And yet sometimes the inner child is getting anxious. Like, just slow down, slow down, slow down. Like, yes, this is exciting, but let's slow down and really feel for a moment. Let's make sure we, read the disclaimers and check the cancellation policies and look at the red tape and just make sure everything in there feels like we're not missing, we're not skipping over, something that might help us feel grounded and safe. Sometimes the inner child does that. And sometimes the inner child is, all lights are green, everything's a go for it. And there is no holding back. It's just an exciting propelling forward into something that is, the next stage of your growth or for your joy and happiness and your personal development and your soul's journey. So these parts of us, again, they will be connected to our needs if they're met and unmet. The healthier we are, the healthier we are with our inner child, meaning healing these young parts in us, the more we're going to develop healthy bonds, attachments, and relationships in our adult life. And the stronger our intuition is going to become, because we become more clear, more grounded, more congruent, more true. So it's important, again, to heal the inner child inside us. Now, I went over sort of an overview of how to do that, and there's a lot to say about it. Again, we can't always go in through the frontal lobe of the brain. Sometimes we have to go through deeper states of meditation, of guided meditation, and healing internally to shift the energy. I teach about it in my training program, the energy healing and intuition training, an entire module on, which is weeks long, on just healing the various stages of the inner child. And it is part of intuitive development, which is why we cover it in the program. If that's interesting to you, I'll post it in the links below. But continue to connect, build that bond with your inner child, listen to that part of you. You know, if you're a parent, the more you listen to your own inner child, the more you're going to be able to be resourced and be able to stay grounded and resilient and connected to yourself when you're parenting. I hope this video supports you, and I hope it helps give you information about your intuition and your inner child and how they are connected. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video.